Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play King's Quest 3 to Heir as Human. In the last episode, we finally got our freedom and we walked around a bunch and got a bunch of things and got into some mischief. And in today's episode, we are going to get into some more mischief. The cat is in here. I don't know if that matters or not, so I'm just gonna make it leave. Oh gosh, I'm still on a pretty slow speed. That's alright. So we're gonna open the cabinet over here. You unlock the oaken cabinet using the brass key. And we're gonna... Inside you find the wizard's magic wand. You take it with you knowing it could mean death if he finds it missing. And we are going to... After closing the door, you carefully relock it. So we would want to do that anyway because we've been doing that, trying to, I guess, hide our tracks so the wizard won't find us and be mad. But we're going to come over to this bookcase and we're going to move the books because with this many books, there is sure to be some kind of secret hidden thing. So you push the large book aside, revealing a metal lever attached to the back of the bookshelf, and we're going to move the lever as well. And a trapdoor opens, revealing steep stone steps leading into darkness. That is the coolest thing ever. I'm really, really happy about this. So we have these really cool steps now, and we are going to go down here. Just so you guys know, if there is a cat on the steps here, if that evil devil cat is on the steps down here, he will trip you and you die. So, not a good thing. But he was not on the steps this time. I think it's on the upper steps. It might be on the lower steps as well that he'll appear, but if the cat's down there, he will try to kill you, which is rather rude, I may say, because that stupid cat. Cats are the worst. So now that we're down here, we're gonna do a lot of stuff. So just bear with me. It's a ton of typing, and we're just gonna have to push through it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're gonna get mandrake powder. You remove the jar labeled mandrake root powder from the laboratory shelf and carry it with you. And we're also going to get nightshade juice. You remove the jar of nightshade juice from the laboratory shelf and carry it with you, etc., etc. We're going to get fishbone. You remove the jar labeled powdered fishbone. We're going to get spittle. Ugh. You remove the jar labeled toad spittle from the laboratory shelf. We're also going to get toadstool powder, I think. Remove the jar of toadstool powder from the laboratory shelf and carry it with you. We're also going to get saffron. You remove the jar labeled saffron from the laboratory shelf and carry it with you. Now from here, we're going to do a lot of magic spells because we have the magic wand. We can do that now. I'm wondering if we can read this book. Covered with gold trimmings, the old book's leather cover is cracked and worn, its pages yellowed and brittle. The title, however, is clear, The Sorcery of Old. You eagerly thumb through page after page of what you assume to be magic formulas. The ink of the old handwriting is faint and barely readable. Most of the formulas are indecipherable, but a few are in a language you know. You treat the old book with great care, as you can tell it contains recipes for some very old and powerful magic spells. Your hands shake as you realize this book could be the key to your escape from the evil Manannan. And I don't know where exactly we end up learning the spells, if we can read them in the game. I'm sure we must be able to, but I have a list of the spells that I want, and and be careful of the wizard appearing because he will kill you. My magic wand is missing. It's time to teach you a lesson, boy. So I'm going to be saving a lot, and we're dead. And you can't see us, but we're a pile of ash right now. Anyway, so I'm going to be saving a lot through this so that the wizard doesn't appear. Ugh. Lovely. I'm going to be saving a lot so that the wizard doesn't appear and kill us a lot, but bear with me as we go through this very tedious task. I think we are going to be creating in total 5 spells, and it's just basically a lot of typing. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is look page 2. With trembling hands, you turn the pages of the Sorcery of Old and prepare to follow its instructions precisely. You know you must work with the utmost care. Every step is critical. Each must be done in the proper way, in the proper sequence. You tremble in anticipation. So we can, I think, read the stuff. Like I said, I have an instruction thing here, so we're going to... Oh, creepy music. Put feather in bowl. You place the soft, downy chicken feather in the clay mixing bowl. We're going to put snake... Oh, no. Actually, wrong thing. We're going to put the dog hair in the bowl. You put the tuft of dog hair in the clay bowl. We're going to put the snake skin in bowl. This music is going to get really annoying really fast. Dried snake skin. Going to put fish bone in bowl. You pour a spoonful of the fish bone powder into the clay bowl. We're going to put the dew in the bowl. You pour the thimbleful of dew into the clay bowl. The music finally stopped, and we're going to... And nope, it just keeps going, so we're going to mix it with hands now. You knead the ingredients of the clay bowl with your hands. It turns into a stiff dough-like substance. We're going to separate the dough into 2 pieces. You grasp the doughy mixture in the bowl and divide it into 2 pieces, of course. And then we are going to put the dough in our ears. Oh, what's an ear? Gosh dang it. We're going to put the dough in ears. You very gently place the 2 pieces of dough in your ears and pull your hair down over them. You prepare to recite the magic incantation. And this is where it gets ridiculous. So we have this incantation that we have to write out. This one is lovely. It is feather of fowl and bone of fish. I don't know if we keep typing if it stays on this line. I think we have to hit enter. Okay, molded together in this dish. I really don't want to get any of this wrong. And the music I'm going to kill. So give me wisdom to understand creatures of air, sea, and land. And we don't have to stick commas in there. It's fine. A strange feeling comes over you. Oh no. And this is what happens when you do it wrong. You're all ears now. Gwydion totally did that on purpose, so I'll meet you guys back when I've done it correctly. Okay, so we're back to this bit. I will stick down below every single thing that you'll need to do for this bit in case I make horrible mistake after horrible mistake. I will try to get this correct though. I'll meet you back when I'm done. Feather of fowl and bone of fish, molded together in this dish, give me wisdom to understand creatures of air, sea, and land. And that was right, apparently, this time. I think the comma is necessary. I think that was my mistake before. So now we are going to wave the wand. Okay, you wave the magic wand over your dough-filled ears. Successfully completing the spell, you again look at the wizard's laboratory. We're going to look page 4. With trembling hands, you turn the pages of the Sorcery of Old and prepare to follow its instructions precisely. You know you must work with the utmost care. Every step is critical. Each must be done in the proper way, in the proper sequence. You tremble in anticipation. Well, luckily for us, this spell is super easy, so all we need to do is put a pinch of saffron in essence. You carefully sprinkle the precious saffron into the vial of rose petal essence. And then we need to recite this verse. O winged spirits, set me free of earthly bindings just like thee. In this essence behold the might to grant the precious gift of flight. Let's see if we did it right. Yes! And then now we need to wave magic wand. Or just wave the wand. You wave the magic wand over the vial of rose petal essence. Successfully completing the spell, you again look at the wizard's laboratory. Next, we're going to look at page 14. With trembling hands, you turn the pages of the Sorcery of Old and prepare to follow its instructions precisely. Of course, you know you must work with utmost care, blah blah blah. Our first step is to grind the acorns in the mortar, which is already sitting on the table. Putting the dried acorns into the stone mortar, you use the pestle to grind them into a rough acorn powder. And then we're going to put the acorn powder in the bowl. Turning the heavy stone mortar upside down, you carefully pour the acorn powder into the bowl, then return the mortar to the table. Next, we're going to put the nightshade juice into the bowl. You very carefully pour the cupful of nightshade juice into a clay bowl so as to not spill a drop. So as to not to spill a single drop. That sounds wrong to me. Anyway, now having done that, there is now an ugly brown mealy liquid mixture in the bowl, and we now get to stir the mixture. You gently stir the unappetizing liquid. Yum! Next we are going to light the brazier. Or brazier? I don't know how you would say that. I've heard it both ways. Brazier, I guess. Making sure there is fresh charcoal on the brazier. There is a small supply here. You light it with the flint. Soon the brazier is hot. And we are going to heat the mixture on the brazier, of course. You gingerly place the clay bowl of ugly brown liquid on the charcoal brazier. Soon the hot brazier brings the mixture to a bubble, then a boil, releasing a bitter-smelling steam. You let it boil until the nightshade juice is nearly gone, then remove it from the brazier. And next we are going to spread mixture on the table. You pour the bowl's contents onto the oaken table, then spread the hot sticky mixture over the tabletop. In a few minutes it is dried to a very crumbly, coarse sleeping powder. And lastly, we have to, of course, say our lovely incantation. Acorn powder ground so fine, nightshade juice like bitter wine, silently in darkness you creep to bring a soporific sleep. Let's hope this is right. Yes, and lastly, of course, we are going to wave the wand because you pass the magic wand over the table. And now that the spell is done, we are going to put the sleep powder into the pouch that we bought from the guy in town. You untie the small leather pouch, scoop the powder from the table, and place it within. You now have a pouch full of sleep powder. Marvelous. Successfully completing the spell, you again look at the wizard's laboratory. Next, we're looking at page 25. With trembling hands, you turn the pages of the Sorcery of Old and prepare to follow its instructions precisely. You know you must work very carefully, blah, blah, blah. This music is gonna make me punch my own brains out. Okay, so we're going to start off with mandrake root. Okay, so we're going to put mandrake root, powder into the bowl, of course. You pour the mandrake root powder into the bowl. And we're going to put the cat hair in. Put the ball of cat hair into the mixing bowl. We're going to put 2 spoons of fish oil in the bowl. Yum. You pour the fish oil into the bowl and keep the empty jar. Yum. And then we're going to stir the mixture. You mix the ingredients together. The mixture turns into an oily, disagreeable dough with cat hairs sticking out of it. Ugh. And now we're going to put the dough on the table. Scrunching your nose in distaste, you grab the oily dough from the clay bowl and put it on the oaken table. We're going to pat the dough into a cookie. Yum. Just one cookie, though. Pushing the palm of your hand onto the oily dough, you flatten it until it is in the shape of a cookie. After a bit, the cookie hardens. That's really fast, actually. So, yay. And, of course, like any other spell, here's the incantation. Mandrake root and hair of cat, mix oil of fish, and give a pat, a feline from the one who eats this appetizing magic treat. And then we're, of course, going to need to wave our wand. You wave the magic wand over the cookie, then take it from the table and carry it with you. Next, we need to look at page 84. With trembling hands, you turn to the pages, blah, blah, blah. We've seen it all before. Our next spell. We're going to put the water in the bowl. Carefully pour the cup of ocean water into the mixing bowl. And then we're going to heat bowl on the brazier. I don't know. Being cautious not to burn yourself, you gently place the bowl of ocean water on the hot charcoal brazier. You watch as the salt water slowly warms and begins to steam. You remove it just before it boils. The brazier has burned all the charcoal and is now cool, so you really needed to get this one particular one done before the brazier burns out. I actually just found that out, so important thing to know, I guess. Kind of important, just a little bit. And we need to put the mud in the bowl. The first thing that we got with our freedom was the mud. Adding a spoonful of mud to the hot ocean water, you slowly stir the mixture. The mud turns the water a cloudy brown. Of course it does, because that's really gross. And we are going to put a pinch of toadstool, yum, powder in the bowl. That pretty much takes up our whole thing at the bottom. We add it, and then we're going to blow on the bowl. Leaning over the hot brew, you forcefully blow your longest breath of air into the bowl, whirling the brew around and around. Pretty strong breath. And now for our incantation. Elements from the earth and sea combine to set the heavens free. When I stir this magic brew, great god Thor, I call on you. And we need to now wave our wand. Per usual, you wave the magic wand over the bowl of hot brown liquid. Yum. And we need some place to store it, of course, so we are going to put the brew in our jar. Waiting until the liquid has cooled, you carefully pour the storm brew into an empty glass jar. Our last one that we're going to do is 169. With trembling hands, we turn to it, blah blah blah, and we'll get started with our spell. We're going to cut our cactus with a knife. Using your kitchen carving knife, you cut a gash in the small cactus. Juice begins to drip. We are going to squeeze. Don't you want to just squeeze cactus? So we're going to squeeze the cactus juice. I can't spell right now, you guys. Juice on the spoon. the spoon from the kitchen as well. Grabbing one of the measuring spoons from the oaken table, you grasp the slit cactus in your hand and squeeze it until you have a spoonful of cactus juice. The small cactus is quite devoid of liquid now, so you toss it away. Just get rid of it. We don't need it anymore. And now we're going to put the cactus juice in the bowl, because what else would we do with it? You carefully add the spoonful of cactus juice in the bowl, and now we're going to put the lard in the bowl, because yum. You scrape the lard in the mixing bowl and keep your now empty jar nearby to store your finished formula. So that's really nice that it tells you right there where you should store it. That's helpful. Anyway, next we're going to put our yum. We're going to put our toad spittle in the bowl. This is so gross. Ugh. You cautiously pour the 2 drops of toad spittle into the bowl. Ugh. And we are going to stir the mixture with spoon. I don't know. This is specifically specified, stir it with a spoon. Ugh. Using one of the stirrers lying on the table, you mix the lard, cactus juice, and toad spittle until it is smooth and blended. Yum. Our final incantation, thank goodness. Cactus plant and horny toad, I now start down a dangerous road, combined with fire and mist to make me disappear without a trace. I don't see how that rhymes, but perfect. We're going to wave our magic wand, because I have to specify that it's a magic wand. You wave the magic wand, and we're going to put the ointment, the yummy toad spittle ointment, in to the jar, because yum. Ugh. Okay, so you scoop the invisibility ointment out of the clay bowl and return it to the lard jar. Successfully completing the spell, you again look at the wizard's laboratory. But this is where we are going to leave today's episode. The wizard is going to come and kill me any second. He's really not happy with me that I've been using his stuff. That's okay though, I saved, so he's really pissed that the wand is missing. That's okay. We're gonna deal with this in the next episode. We're not gonna let him kill us. We're not actually dead right here, don't worry. Like I said, I saved. But this is where we're gonna leave today's episode. I'm sorry if today was kind of a boring one. It's just, you guys, this is taking me so long to film and everything. It's just, I'm not a fast typer, and I'm kind of dyslexic, and so typing everything in perfect, it's not an easy task. I've already been filming for almost an hour on this really short episode, so sorry if it's a little boring, but I hope you'll stick around for the next episode. Hopefully that's more interesting for you guys. Thank you so very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye, everyone!